My name's Tom McLaughlin. I'm the Good Business Journey Coordinator at Woolworths, which is I coordinate the foods sustainability issues. The workshop here today was specifically about palm oil, sustainable palm oil, because it's a product that is used in a large number of Woolworths products, something nearly 400 different products. And we want to make sure that we're not killing orangutans, causing climate change, and are supporting human rights abuses in Malaysia and Indonesia. Sustainable palm oil for the suppliers just means that they become more responsible for what they're buying, and they pay more attention to where it comes from and how it was produced. For the customer, it's a little bit of confidence and trust in what they're buying is not harming the future of their children. So it's like an investment in the long-term future of the planet and their children. It's a feel-good for them. Palm oil was focused on specifically because it is one of the main commodities that is responsible for deforestation. And deforestation around the world is taking place at a terrific rate. Area the size of England is disappearing every year. Now that affects climate change, it affects biodiversity. It's a massively destructive thing, and we don't notice it here where we live in this part of the world, because change is very gradual here. A 1% change a year over 30 years you hardly notice because you're growing up with it. But in the tropical areas of the world, it's much faster. It's almost twice the speed. So it's very noticeable, and it's not right for the future with global warming and issues like that. From a Woolworths perspective, we would like to see all the palm oil in our products being certified sustainable by 2015. When we discovered the palm oil problem and we started looking for people to help us solve it, we went round to all the oil refining companies in the country that we knew of at the time. It wasn't everyone. And we asked them for help. Hudson and Knight, Sime Darby, or Sime Darby, Hudson and Knight were the only people that put their hands up and got going. So they were the willing. Okay, the plan going forward is first of all to map how much palm oil is used and where it's coming from. And if necessary, run more workshops or run specific programs to, maybe it's the traders that we need to get together in a room or whatever, but it's the mapping is the key next step. And to push all Woolworths suppliers to become RSPO members and to become certified, that's the next step. The best place to read about the Woolworths Good Business Journey is actually in the sustainability report, which is part of the annual report of the business. It's on a website called woolworthsholdings.co.za, and it gives you a very up-to-date and fresh view of what's going on inside Woolworths and its supply base.
My name is Gareth Thomas. I'm the sales manager for Africa for Sime Darby, Hudson and Knight. My role is to drive the sales and marketing on this continent for Sime Darby. Well, we're here today because we're the first palm oil refiner in South Africa to have been certified for sustainable, as a supply chain sustainable for mass balance supply in South Africa. We had our accreditation in December, which is valid for 5 years, so we're pleased to be driving this workshop with Woolworths today to educate the consumers, manufacturers, as well as other oil refiners in South Africa. The importance is about the full traceability of palm oil coming in from Southeast Asia into South Africa from a certified sustainable route. This process means to the end consumer that they actually know where the palm oil is coming from. So it's from a sustainable source in Malaysia, as well as it's fully traceable from South Africa back to Malaysia. Well, because it's the right thing to do, to follow sustainable practices in the world, we have to do this, and oil refiners, along with Hudson and Knight in South Africa, have to do this because in Europe it's already been going for 5 years, and eventually only sustainable certified palm oil will be available in the world. The consumer pressure in South Africa is slowly getting stronger and stronger on palm oil. Woolworths, in fact, is the first retailer to have brought this to the forefront in terms of attention to palm oil refiners in South Africa, and they want to be the first retailer to actually do this. And so therefore companies like ourselves who work with the RSPO back in Malaysia are going to be driving this to make sure that all manufacturers that are supplying to Woolworths follow the RSPO supply chain mass balance route. Our main goal is to assist Woolworths in having all their manufacturers supply mass balance oil by 2015, and then also to be the first refiner to hopefully do segregated palm oil before 2020, which is our deadline as well. So the difference between mass balance and segregated is purely from a supply chain point of view. Fully segregated is extremely difficult at this stage in South Africa, because not only do the vessels and the storage tanks that you hold the oil in have to be separated from the current system, but also manufacturers and refiners like ourselves and manufacturers for Woolworths will have to keep two separate supply chains, which is obviously extremely costly. When it comes to mass balance, that is the first step in the RSPO link, and that is you can mix the oils together, but obviously you can only claim on your end goal, you can only claim the mass balance portion of certified sustainable palm oil going out versus the non-sustainable palm oil. We're based in Johannesburg. You can get hold of us on 011-896-9002, where we will gladly field any questions. If we can't answer them, we will direct them through to our head office in Malaysia.
My name is Tang Meng Kong. I'm from Sam Darby Plantation, based in Malaysia. We are the largest palm oil producers. We also are the largest certified sustainable palm oil producer today. We produce more than 2 million tons of certified palm oil at this moment. In Sam Darby, our certification is across the value chain, from upstream, there's plantation, to our midstream, there's milling, and then we also involved in the supply chain certification for all our refinery. And for the South Africa, we have a refinery here, it's Hudson and Knight, and Hudson and Knight have been certified with SCCS certification last December. We embarked on our SCCS certification for Hudson and Knight since about a year and a half ago, but Hudson and Knight received support from the personnel from Kuala Lumpur, where the headquarters based, and at the same time, Hudson and Knight they already obtained their ISO 9001 certification. With that, make the whole certification process is much more easier. So why we need to support sustainable palm oil is just to make sure that the whole supply chain for the palm oil industry is being managed in a sustainable way to ensure that we conserve or protect our planet, at the same time to look after all our people, including the external stakeholders. For Sam Darby Plantation, our target is to achieve 100% certified sustainable palm oil production by end of this calendar year. It is important to support sustainable palm oil production. Moving forward, sustainability is the key in doing business. This is what I believe. So if you do not support sustainable palm oil production, eventually I think you will lose out your business.
Hi, my name is Daniel Green from BM Trada. We're a certification body and we're the first RSPO accredited certification body. BM Trada's aim is to assist our clients both identify the correct certifications for them and to help them achieve them in the most cost-effective way that they can. So we work with our clients to identify the areas that their business is at risk and show them the solutions for those risks and how they can best meet their customers' goals. I think it's really positive to see the South African manufacturing base starting to engage with the RSPO process and to look to embrace the ideas of sustainable palm. Yeah, the RSPO is the Round Table for Sustainable Palm Oil, which was founded in 2004. Its aim is to transform the market and make sustainable palm the norm. So it offers a range of certifications for both the plantation, where the oil palm is grown, and then the supply chain, which traces that oil all the way through to the end consumer. The majority of retailers globally now have time-bound commitments for the use of sustainable palm in their own brand products, and most of those are 2015. So by that date, suppliers to them have to be able to demonstrate that they are buying and using only sustainable palm oil. So this is putting quite a big strain on the market, and the demand for palm oil is going to increase, and the demand for sustainable palm oil also is going to increase at the same time. So it's key that suppliers understand they need to take action quickly rather than be left behind in the race for that sustainable palm oil. Woolworths has identified two parts to their goal. Firstly, all of their suppliers need to be providing sustainable palm oil through the mass balance system by 2015, and they need to continue on to be supplying segregated palm oil through the segregated certification system by 2020. The result of not achieving these would be both environmental, in that we would see continued destruction of rainforests in Indonesia and Malaysia, and continuing habitat loss for important species such as the Sumatran tiger and the orangutan. It would also mean a loss of business for the suppliers, who would no longer be able to meet their customers' requirements and therefore would have to have their products withdrawn from supermarket shelves. The first steps they need to undertake is to map their palm oil supply chain, so to understand where they have palm. It's very easy to focus on the bulk tankers, but there are hundreds of ingredients that contain palm oil that they need to consider. They need to understand if they do have palm oil, and if they do, is it available as sustainable palm. Sustainable palm oil is palm oil that is produced in accordance with the RSPO's principles and criteria on plantations that have been certified that they are doing so. It's then traced through the supply chain certification system which RSPO run, in which certification bodies such as BM Trada then audit. And that allows you to be sure that the product you're buying contains palm oil that's come from a plantation that complies with the principles and criteria as laid down by the RSPO. The easiest way to contact BM Trada is through our website, which is www.bmtrada.com.